Hello, hello. I hope you guys can hear me okay. Because once again, the setup for this stream was very interesting. It is I, your friendly neighborhood striker, Comp. Hello, enjoy your work, lurk. Senator JG, I assume you are also lurking for work. Enjoy your work, lurk. Laurel, thank you so much for that sub. 10 months. Holy wow. How are you? Flutter. Enjoy the lurk. I hope you're doing well as well now that you're back to work. Runewolf, hello. How are you? I'm gonna assume that you guys can hear me okay, or someone would hopefully have said, hey, you're muted by now. Hello. I have to just make sure that clicky clacky cam is properly oriented on the keyboard, because I didn't actually really get a chance to do that during the setup. I feel like I had it more there yesterday. But then my fingers are actually, this is a high quality content right here. Hang on. I actually need to liberate my iPad. Things I should have thought of before I put 3 million cords on my desk. High quality content. How are you guys? What is up? I'm here figuring things out. It's been a weird day. Full disclosure, I woke up from a weird ass nightmare this morning at like an hour before my alarm was supposed to go off. It was really, when I talk about it, it sounds really silly, but when it was happening, it felt terrifying. It basically involved magical skeletons attacking everything. Everyone. And we drove off the first one with an electrical shock, but we knew that more were gonna come. So we were trying to barricade ourselves in the basement. And that was when I woke up. And I was like, you know what, brain? I didn't need this today. But here we are. I've managed to mostly wrangle my brain into cooperation today. We're working on the last bit of editing for Someone Suffering Child. This book has really been kicking my butt. I had to rewrite the opening of the chapter that I'm actually currently working on at the moment. So that was super interesting. I feel like the problem is it's just not pointed downward enough. There we go. So that was fun. But I think I've got most of the really difficult stuff out of the way. Let's see if my white noise will cooperate today. So we just have a little bit more to go through. I have a couple inconsistencies to iron out here at the end. But hopefully there won't be a lot of muttering and swearing. We'll see. We'll see indeed. Been formulating a lore short for one of the ethereals and trying to get back into my works in progress. Nice! It is always hard to pick up after a break. I am definitely noticing I have been much slower in my initial, my first couple sprints of the day are much slower than they were prior to the break. I usually, before the break started, I was actually averaging sometimes around 1,100 words in 20 minutes of a sprint, and now I'm starting out my day with 800 words per sprint, which feels ouchy. I know you guys are going to be like, oh damn, 800 words per sprint, you poor baby. But it hurts a little. It hurts a little that the productivity was so high, and now it's so medium. it takes time. It takes time to get back into things, to pick up that momentum again. The time off has definitely got my muse in high gear. I'm feeling very good about the new Aravalia book. Not what we're working on today, ironically, but I was very smug about everything I wrote yesterday. I was very happy with both of the scenes that I did. Basically everyone in that book, because there has been Flutter already laughing at me. Haha, you're doing 800 words per sprint, lol. Because that is a book 12, and there has been so much build up, so many things setting up and brewing in the background of that series, it's just pure payoff. So every chapter in this book is just something, there's a callback of some kind, or there's like this long running thing that's finally coming to fruition, and it just feels so good to be just constantly pulling those threads into their final positions and getting everything firing off. So one of my characters is absolutely ready to flip tables. Like, he is done with everything. He is on, like, his temper is on that snap trigger. And then there's Damarin, who's having a really, really not fun time in general right now. So it's, yeah, half of that book is going to be this giant epic final battle against the bad guys that I'm simultaneously looking forward to and dreading writing. And so far it's been fun. This is why I say take a break, because, like, my muse is just like, yeah, let's do this thing. Let's make it all happen. Hoping the lore short will help get some productivity back. Yeah, good luck. I mean, just don't, if it takes a couple days or if it takes a week or whatever, a couple weeks, like, don't get discouraged. It's natural when as the laws of physics state, an object in motion stays in motion. When we come to a complete rest, it takes more energy to get moving again than it does to keep moving when we're already moving. I'm definitely feeling that with this project. That law is me. Flutter, I feel you 100%. I'm really, really feeling that with this particular, the work in progress that I have open on. I don't know why I'm so, like, off center. I'm really feeling that with this one because my brain was ready to be done editing it at the end of last year. I had put myself into full gear with it. I was very much digging deep and pushing through. It's one of those edits that has really, not really tripped me up, but has been really, really difficult. There's been a lot of internal struggle with this book, and I'm not entirely sure why. I'm not sure if it's just because it's a first book in series, so I'm a little less confident with these characters than I am with some of my others. I'm not entirely sure yet about my world building or if things are coming through the way I want them to. That's very much a thing that I'm gonna have to talk to my betas about. This has just been hard. It's been hard. It's been a real struggle getting my brain to connect with it. And it feels like I open up my Aravalia book and I just breeze through a sprint and I'm like, this is Cloud 9. And I look at this book and I'm like, this is the worst thing ever. Sable, hello. And I assume Aaron as well. Thank you for the raid. How are you guys? Hello. If you guys haven't checked out Sable, please do. Her channel is great. She was one of the people who first introduced me to the fact that there are writers on Twitch and that people will come hang out if you're writing online. And she and Aaron are around, I think, 11 to 3 most days, running sprints. chatting. Sometimes she does. She's one of the people who sometimes, I don't know if she has it active right now, but she sometimes does showcases. She'll read over your stuff, give you some feedback. So check her out. How are you guys? How was your stream? How was your writing? I see Tempest is here. Tempest, how you doing? Xandra, hello, hello. Rowan, hello. Kit, hello. We just got started, so I'm still in the rambling stage. You guys probably have this too, but I ramble for a bit before I actually get my brain to do anything. This edit has been kicking my butt, so hopefully once we dig in here, it's gonna go well, but I expect it to be a bit rough. Hey, Neo, how is it going? I hope you are taking a break. Gotta head off. Buddha and I need to do some shopping. No problem. Good luck. I hope that all the stores are empty except for you guys, and that you get exactly everything you need, and that you have some lucky finds. Bard! Thank you for those 69 biddies. How are you? Neo, I do believe that you were supposed to take some time off, so you should be taking a break. I think I missed something. Laurel said, I'm hoping lore shorts will help. I work so much with traditional mythology that I have difficulty figuring out my original pantheon. That's the sort of stuff that comes in time. The more you do it, the easier it sort of gets. I've done it a couple times. I kind of got into an argument with myself over whether or not I should create a pantheon for the Aravalia series, because I did one for the Celestial Serenade. And it does add a lot of depth, but basically none of the characters in the Aravalia Chronicles actually believe in anything remotely religious. Damarin is, like, actually to the point of, like, if I can't see, touch, taste, smell, or hear it, it's probably not real. And so it was like, if I go to all the trouble of creating a pantheon, it's going to be very, very background. And it's going to be one of those things where I do like 7-8 hours of work for like 7 or 8 sentences, that end up in the book. So, not always necessary to do that kind of stuff. Rewarding, when you do though. So it just takes time. You get into it, you get used to it. Gonna be lurking, trying to fight off a headache all day. Bard, I hope you feel better. The last thing you need is being sick some more. Hopefully we can be super chill, place for you to hang out. Time for dinner, Kit, enjoy! I hope it's delicious. I'm doing pretty good. Aside from, this edit kicking my butt, I'm doing pretty good. Heads up for people who usually come to my morning streams. I might be a little late starting tomorrow, which will shock no one, because I'm always late starting anyway. I do have to run to the blood clinic tomorrow. Crossing my fingers and toes for good news. You guys know that I'm on anti-thyroids, because I've been talking about the medication pretty much since I came back to Twitch this year. But basically 6 weeks ago, my doctor was like, lower the dose, recheck in 6 weeks, and today is the 6-week mark. So tomorrow I'm going to the blood clinic, crossing my fingers and toes that my thyroid levels have stayed even. I expect it to fluctuate, and I expect that my doctor expects it to fluctuate. But the idea is that he wants to get, well, we all, because this is how bodies work, we all want to get my thyroid to be producing the right amount of hormone on its own. So the medication basically prevents it from creating too much of the hormone, and hopefully, I assume the hope is that as they lower my dose, my thyroid will not just kick into high gear again. So fingers and toes crossed that we get good news on that front. I've only been on these for about 3 months. So I was warned that it might be 12 to 18 months of treatment before my thyroid does what we want it to do, which sucks, but hopefully, thank you so much, Sandra. Yeah, and thank you, Flutter. Hopefully it'll be what we want it to be. If it's not, it's not. I'm prepared for that. I didn't pin my hopes on anything, of course, because I don't know what it's doing. But fingers and toes crossed for good news. I'll be satisfied if he doesn't have to raise the dose again. If I'm just able to stay, because I'm on a very low dose right now, so if I'm just able to stay on the very low dose, I would be happy with that. I'm not sure how much less of a dose it goes from here, but we'll find out. So if I'm a little bit late tomorrow, it's just because I'm gonna get up very early, to ass crack of dawn for me, and go to the blood clinic first thing when it opens, so that I don't have to like wait in a long line or anything. And then I'll have to walk back because Ghost will be at work by then. So if I'm a few minutes late, it's just because I'm taking care of that. All will be well. We're going to be doing a nice, fun little writing prompt tomorrow. I already have an idea of what I want to work on, so I'm excited about. But today, we're wrapping up the edits for Someone Suffering Child, and I'm ready. My brain is ready to be done with this. I'm really eager to have the check mark for this one. The puppy really wants to play. Oh, I know, when they're young, they've got so much energy, and you gotta tire them out, or it'll just be an endless font. Such a nice 22-minute stream earlier. What happened? Flutter, did you accidentally go live? Or were you live on purpose and your computer was just like, no, I'm done? What happened? Give me the deets. Oh, it was Neo. Neo, did your PC die on you while you were live? I thought because he said, hey, Flutter, it was because it was that you were, like, accidentally live or something. Which is easier to have happen than you think. I've been working with the Ethereals for almost 5 years off and on, and I've gotten pretty far, just feeling like there's more I can get. I do have characters who worship them, so I want everything to feel as authentic as possible. Yeah, totally. I totally get that. 100%. Oh no, it couldn't handle the game. Neo, I'm so sorry. This is why I don't know if anyone has been hanging out over on Ghost streams, but he has been sort of testing out a 2 PC stream setup, where basically he plays a game on one stream and he streams from he plays a game on one computer and he streams from a different computer, because even though he has a really pretty good computer setup, when he plays a game and streams at the same time, the performance is just not optimal. So he's trying to spread out that computing power, essentially, so that he has my old laptop, which we've just basically reformatted and updated to just Windows and bare bones. And so he's using OBS on there. And then he's playing the game from his gaming PC, but it turns out that there's like a whole complicated thing involved. I read my therapist really wants to play. That would be a different conversation indeed, Neo. Just closed everything and cleaned my house. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Neo. I hope you can get it working. That seriously sucks. I have a game that I've been wanting to play forever, but my computer doesn't want to run it, so I've kind of been sitting on it. Because I haven't felt like dealing with it. But I have yammered at you guys probably enough. I believe we've been live for, it says 25 minutes, so that's probably a sign that we should do some actual productivity. We're going to be doing 30-minute sprints today because 20 minutes just is not enough for me to focus when it comes to edits. I apologize in advance because I always feel like my editing streams are not as entertaining as my writing streams. There's going to be less typing and a lot of me staring intently at these, what for you are tiny words that you can't really read. Hopefully, if you guys are also working, then hopefully we can just be super chill in the background. Let me make sure that my editing timer is in the right spot because I have a suspicion it is not quite. Let me get that somewhat centered, and then we will start it for real. I can run Borderlands 3 on Ultra, but Payday 1 made in 2014, I can't. I mean, this is a whole conversation that could be had, but I think it has a lot to do with optimization. If a game is not well optimized, then even if it's older, it will take up resources that it shouldn't because it was never really built to run efficiently. Whereas if the game designers have taken the time to optimize the way their game runs, then even if it is sort of what you would think of as more of a graphics hog, your computer might be able to handle it better. It's 100% a back-end thing. I know just enough about this because I did not programming in school, but I did web coding, and it's the same principle design. If the designer is considering every aspect of the UI and what the resources are for what the game is going to be using, and if they're keeping that in mind while they're designing the game, it's going to run a lot more efficiently, or it's going to be a lot smoother and have some more bonus features compared to something where optimization is just kind of tacked on at the end. So probably my guess is Payday was never optimized. They shoved it out the door. They wanted it to run and they didn't really care about anything else. And if it hasn't had a lot of back-end support, or if it was badly enough built from the beginning that they can't really do back-end support, that'll be an issue forever. I know nothing. I'm a gamer, not a nerd. I've got bad news for you, Neo. You're a gamer and you write. You're a nerd. Nerd. I have a name for my lore shirt. Nice! Laurel. Let's... I know. Neo, it's okay. I'm a nerd too. We're all nerds here. It's good. You're in good company. I'm going to turn on that editing timer for me and for you guys. I'm going to be quiet for the next little while, but please feel free to keep talking in the chat. 30 minutes. Let's see if I have a scene and a half to edit today, so let's see if I can get through that. I feel like all you guys are going to see is my hand on the mouse for the next 30 minutes, but we'll see how it goes. Look at my lovely hand socks. They're red today. I think the problem was OBS. OBS can be a bit of a resource hog. Xandra, no worries. Thank you so much for hanging out. I hope everything is okay. Take care of yourself. That's why Ghost is working on the 2 PC setup, is because he doesn't have any problem gaming when he's not on OBS, but if he runs OBS in a game at the same time, his computer throws a fit. have projects at the moment. The Western in Space, a dark fantasy novel, and a book that I want to publish again, Harmony of Shadows. Nice! Neo, it sounds like you've got a lot going on. Apparently my brain is more than happy to get me the name and premise of my lore short, but when I try to write it, it farts and says no. I mean, sometimes it happens, Laurel. I'd say push against that feeling, try to get some words going, and if it just isn't working, take a break for a day, see if it works better tomorrow. I always recommend giving it a try, like pushing back against the push. But if you give it a good hard shove and it still doesn't go anywhere, it could just be that you're tired. It could just be that you need an extra night to sleep on it. Or you can always try working on something else and see if that flows better. Neo, you do not have to write a book in English for me. Please feel free to write in whatever language is most comfortable for you. I am perfectly fine with eventually reading a translation. You do not have to feel obligated out of any sense of writing something for me. Please do what is comfortable for you. Hyperius. How's it going? Ireland, 11:30 here, and I work tomorrow. Well, thank you for stopping by. Sorry I've been so quiet. I have been focusing on edits. But I hope you have a good night. I hope you enjoyed the time that you hang out. Translation, pink pachyderm PTSD. You could translate it manually after you wrote it. I know it would take a lot of time, but if it's easier for you to write what you want it to sound like in French first and then translate it later, you can always do that. Just low-key scared of this particular ethereal. She doesn't like being summoned for things outside her main job, and I don't want to anger her with multiple summonings just to ask her for lore. I mean, but sometimes you have to poke a character a lot to get information out of them. I have a few characters like that. Ireland is a place that I have not yet been able to go and definitely want to see someday. Doing a bit of writing for before bed, so I thought I'd pop in. Perfect! Yeah, this is our first sprint for today, but I will be doing several more before end of stream. Drunk people in grass, that's Ireland? Neo. Those might be fighting words right there. How dare you correctly stereotype us? Big mood. Might see the sun, the annoying ball thing. I was particularly displeased that it was shining light in my face this morning, not gonna lie. If you go to Ireland, just know the weather changes every 10 minutes. Gotcha. Good to know. Gotta get myself together for work. Flutter, thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you have a great day at work. Good luck. I would say I hope it's quiet, but I know you get paid in tips. So I hope it is a good night for both interactions and tips. Ireland only gets rain, wind, and the peaks of the thermometer. We have snow and rain right now, which is a really dreary combination, but I'm just glad it's not snowing more. Kyberg, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. How are you? What is up? Sorry to be so quiet. Just working my way through the last few minutes of a sprint here. Ireland can't really get snow, only black ice. Oof, black ice is not great. Oh no, you got a baguette ad for me, Neo? I'm so sorry. I thought they were only on Ghost's channel. Now I have the curse too. That is the end of that chapter. Hooray. I thought I was going to have to do a little bit more rewriting at the end, but most of the rewriting of that chapter had to be done at the beginning. So, very happy with that. That means there is one scene left in this book. With what's been happening to D&D, I've gotten a boost in inspiration to finish my own TTRPG setting. That's awesome! We are kind of holding on, just kind of waiting for them to release the official new OGL, or make a statement of clarification or whatever. But luckily, what Ghost Pepper does with Winds of Chaos isn't really part of the OGL, since there's no written documentation or anything like that. I certainly hope Exiled Fae, hello, I didn't see you slip in there. How are you? I certainly hope they are not going to decide to go with the clause that gives them non-exclusive rights to republish other people's work. It's icky. I could talk at length about why that is icky from a creator's standpoint. But I won't, because then we'll never get any work done on the stream. But suffice to say, it would be really icky if they did that, especially since the current OGL protects the intellectual property rights of people who publish under it. It would be especially icky if they tried to make that application retroactive to anything that's already been published. It would be slightly less icky if it only applies to one D&D content, and content published for 5th edition is considered to be to apply, have the old OGL apply, but it would still be icky. Basically anything that lets a company profit off of somebody else's work without having to pay or acknowledge their effort is icky. Very icky. And using the word icky, so I won't use other words. So I'm really hoping that that doesn't happen. But we have been keeping an eye on it, just because Ghost does run a D&D 5th edition campaign on Twitch. And we'll see what happens when they actually release the new OGL. I would think a baguette curse would be better than a demon or deity curse. It depends on how you feel about baguettes. Neo is a tier in a baguette, and so I think a baguette curse is probably the worst possible curse for our good friend Neo. Exiled Fae, how are you? How are you doing? What is up? Please let us know. Hopefully I didn't miss too much else during that sprint. I know I was very focused at certain points. It's just a very fine line between poking Marionette for lore and legit pissing her off. I feel you. Luckily, my characters have learned that they live in my head. They're going to have to deal with me poking them from time to time. Also, Hyperius, if you'd like to tell us what kind of TTRPG setting you're working on, please feel free. No pressure. No one has to talk about any projects that they don't want to. But if you'd like to tell us what type of setting you're working on, and like if it's fantasy, if it's more Spelljammer, sci-fi sort of thing, let us know. I'm always interested in that kind of stuff. I'm probably going to take a quick break here in a few minutes and make myself some tea, which makes me realize I don't think I decided what kind of tea I even want to drink today. I have been trying, as I mentioned before, I have been trying to hydrate a bit more because it seems like my medication is drying me out a bit. So very important to make sure I get that afternoon tea in. I did have a black tea the last 2 days, so I could go with a green tea. I've been favoring caffeinated teas in the afternoon because, man, have I been feeling drag lately. So I don't know, but I do have some rooibos tea I could go for if I don't need the caffeine boost. It is a conundrum. Working on a half and half type thing, mostly fantasy, but science is considered to be a type of magic. Ooh, I love that. I love it when it's a mix and match type situation. I've been watching High Rollers, D&D, and for their Aroas campaign, the DM has used a lot of Magitech stuff. So a lot of technology powered by magic, and I love that sort of stuff. Fighter jets strafing dragons, yes, give me all that stuff. I love it. My Aravalia Chronicles series, which we're not working on today, but we're working on yesterday, takes place. It's a high fantasy story, so it's the same thing. There's really high-powered wizards and sorcerers, and like fairies run the internet, and magic is all over the place. but it's a modern world setting. So there's this really interesting blend of magic and science. So you can go to their version of Starbucks and get, you know, a magic potion shot in your drink. Or, you know, you can take an airplane to go somewhere, or you can take an enchanted airship and have, you know, a cruise in the sky. And they're floating, there's a floating den of scum and villainy that sort of moves throughout the world. So I love that kind of stuff. I love anytime someone is like, how can I take things that have traditionally been considered mutually exclusive and smush them together in an interesting, fun way. So I love it. I love it, Hyperius. Good luck with that. Marinette knows I'm bound to poke her since being told how to contact her. She just has a very busy schedule and doesn't like to be bothered. I see. I see how it is. I have one character, Asma, who I love him to bits. He's a sweet boy, but he's very quiet unless I force him to tell me a story. The setting takes a lot from Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Not sure if you know a lot about it, but it's pretty cool. I know a little bit. I know kind of the lore of Warhammer 40k. I was talking about this yesterday. I don't really play it, but I've done like lore deep dives. I don't know as much about the Age of Sigmar, but I know some. I don't know a lot of... For some reason, I know a bit about the Horus Heresy just because a bunch of people that I was hanging out with at one point were talking about the Horus Heresy a lot, and I was like, the feck is this? So I just did like a deep dive. No worries. And I was like, so what is up with that? So that's the one I know the most about, but I do vaguely know a bit of Age of Sigmar. And I know that Ghost Pepper plays Warhammer Vermintide, which I assume they mention Sigmar in there a lot, so I assume it's at least tangentially related to the lore. So I know enough to be like, oh yeah, that makes sense, but I don't know like the details, if that makes sense. There are 3 Warhammer settings and one is discontinued. Yes, that makes sense. That makes sense. Would you like the lore? I mean, if you would like to share lore, absolutely. I am not opposed to learning lore. I'm always up for lore. And I know that Warhammer in general has a lot of lore out there. I was saying yesterday I'm not really super into Grimdark. So I've not like played or read a lot in the Warhammer universe, but I do find the lore to be somewhat interesting. I know, heresy. Heresy. But Neo, I at least get nerd cred for knowing some about it, right? I know about the Emperor. I know all about the Emperor. Warhammer 40k is the most lore-dense fantasy universe to exist. I would agree with that. There's so much, and they keep building on it and expanding it, right? And it's always interesting to see what direction they go with it. So I am going to, if you would like to type some lore at me, I will give you the perfect opportunity, because I'm going to go AFK. I'm going to go into BRB mode for a few minutes here. Let me turn off the timer so it doesn't start automatically when we get back. And then once I have some tea, we will go... I still didn't decide what tea I want. For anyone who doesn't know, I have like 3 million teas. So I'll get into the kitchen and just be like, what sounds good today? When I get back, we'll read some lore, if there's some lore to read. And then we will do another sprint. My brain just 404'd there. It was like, what happens after that, Megan? What happens after that? Also, because I know that Twitch is not necessarily the best for long amounts of typing, if you are on the Discord or would like to join the Discord, Hyperius, you can always pop some lore over there, where you can type things out and format them a bit better. and I can look at them afterward as well. Woof, hello! I'm about to go get some tea, but how are you doing, my friend? What is up? The most lore-dense universe is Pac-Man? Neo! Pac-Man doesn't need lore. I'm sorry. I know that the Pac-Man universe does have lore. I feel like it doesn't need it. It has too much lore. More than 350 novels set in the Warhammer universe, according to Google. Wow! That is a lot. I know my husband has a few of them, but not 350. All right, guys, if you need to get up, stretch, move around, grab something to drink, take any medications that you need to take, please remember to do that. Take care of yourself. You're important. And I will be back after doing the same for myself. I am back. Neo is moving to Texas, apparently. Did I miss something? um, I'm gonna stream Demon Souls. Nice. It's gonna be fun. See, I don't find it fun to die 100. Maybe this is heresy. I don't find it fun to die 100 times on the same boss. But, you know, if that's your jam, it's your jam. Gonna stream Left 4 Dead and probably Doom 2 and Heretic. Nice. Probably very early for Woof when you stream. Probably even earlier for me. Welcome back, Hyperius. I'm back as well. Neo, why do you say everything you do is bad? Not everything you do is bad. Also, if it was laggy and your PC crashed, those are things you don't have control over. Those are not your fault that those things happen. You can't make your internet do a thing. You can't make your internet do a thing, Neo. Theoretically, you can't also make your PC do something, even though you should be able to, because it's just not how technology works. I have made for myself. Neo controls the only Wi-Fi tower in France. Neo, why are you working, like... why are you working 16-hour shifts if you control all the internet in France? Like, you got it made. You got it made, my friend. Oops. I'm just knocking everything over today. I'm drinking blueberry green tea from Republic of Tea, which was gifted to me by the lovely It's Woof, who is in our chat. I gotta fix my white noise because it's not quite working now. Fingers and toes crossed. And I will settle in for another sprint. Another 30 minutes of intense focus on the final scene of this book, which I'm very eager to be finished with. I see that no magical fairies edited any of it while I was away, which makes me a tiny bit sad. But here we are. White noise has never helped me. Brown noise gets me asleep, though. I find that if I listen to music when I'm writing, it distracts me. I like the rain noise. For some reason, it's like just a noise that lets me focus. And then I put some musical tones underneath. I think I know what brown noise is, but I might be wrong. There's a type of noise, there's also something, I'm not sure if it's the same as brown noise, but there's something called binaural beats, which is actually designed to resonate at a specific frequency, which puts your mind into like a certain state of relaxation. I don't know if binaural is the same as brown noise, but I think they're very similar. And it's sort of specifically designed, like white noise is more about specific sounds. So like I'm listening to a rain on a tin roof sound. So the idea is that you block out other sounds with a specific sound. Whereas I think brown noise and binaural beats are more about the way the sound hits your ear and the way that the sound like makes you feel. And so it's sort of specifically calibrated to calm you and put you in a restive or a focused, depending on what you're trying to do at the time, a restive or a focused state. So I think that's kind of what brown noise is for. Hyperius can obviously correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm glad that there are things like that available for people who need it, because I know I struggle to focus without my white noise. And I also sleep with white noise in the background as well, so explaining it in English would be hard. We understand, Neo. It's okay. I'm going to turn on that sprint timer and go back to a focus, but please feel free to keep chatting in the chat. I will look over there when I have opportunities. I'm not ignoring you guys, just getting focused. That's probably why we laugh at each other's jokes so much. Birds of a feather. It's nice, though, when you find someone who's on the same wavelength as you. Oh, God, I just went to hit the save button on my Word document, and my mouse jerked over, and I almost closed OBS. That would have been an interesting moment in the stream. All right, let's have the editing timer on. Also, just for anyone who's lurking and wondering how I feel about it, if you ever need to, if like the music that's happening on stream or my blibber blabber is too distracting, but you still want to hang out, please feel free to mute me and hang out and participate in the streams. I will not be offended by anyone muting the stream and putting their own soundtrack over top of it. Is 100% understandable. I do that myself sometimes when I'm lurking in streams, so it's all good. Should I put some more Hammer lore in chat? You absolutely can. Or like I said, if it's easier, you can also put it in the Discord. Hey, Fearless Like a Lion's Heart, how are you? What is up? Welcome in, welcome in. Hopefully I feel like my keyboard's not quite in, the range of the camera today, but I'm trying to make sure you guys can see me typing. Is that what I meant to say? I only mute the stream when it's break time. How did you get started in this writing stream? I stumbled upon other people writing on Twitch and was like, dang, it never occurred to me that people would hang out with me while I write. And then I just kind of tried it out and people stuck around. And it just kind of happened. I might be a bad example. But I would say if you want to try doing it, just go for it. You don't even necessarily need a layout. Just my first stream was a Word document and my face cam. And just go for it. Just if you stream it, they will come. Already in the Discord, but I don't think they need a wall of pings. Yeah, if you want to type it out here in the Twitch stream, I can read it after the sprint. I don't know what Gilded is. Is that a messenger program? have a YouTube channel I write live there. Oh, so it's very similar. It would be very similar. Writing on Twitch would be very similar to writing on YouTube, I would think. Just different people would hang out in the chat. You pick, Hyperius. I am perfectly happy to hear any lore. I'm less familiar with the fantasy lore myself, but I am happy to hear any lore you would like to share. How did I get started in writing? I've been writing since like 8th grade. I just kind of started doodling stories one day and fell in love with it and never stopped. Also, sorry if I'm slow to respond. It's because I am... During sprints, I tend to focus more on the work and less on the chat, but I will try to keep up. Or catch up after. Victoria, hello, hello. And Peter, hello, hello. How are you, my friends? What is happening? Our friend Hyperius here is going to be sharing some fantasy Warhammer lore with us in the chat. But please let me know how you guys are doing. I'm happy that you're here too. We arrived with our hearts filled with love. That is the most important thing. I hope you're both doing well. Hey, the Demon Chara. How's it going? Can't have seasonal affective disorder if you're broken 365, 24/7. Peter, I'm sorry to hear that you feel that way, but we're here for you. I'm glad to hear that you're doing good, Demon Chara. Hyperius, I will read I'll go back, scroll up, and read all the lore at the end of the sprint. So keep going as long as you want. Just want you to know I'm not ignoring you. Cries disappear in the past, like memories, like tears in the baguette. I'm going to be Peter Supreme this year, but also there may still be sadness in my heart and soul. That's okay. We can't be happy all day, every day, Peter. Although I had the greatest time at work today, I found this really random selection of photos of people in Microsoft Word. So I made a slideshow presentation called Why Are These People Crying? Tears in a Baguette. You were the person with the AI. I'm really bad with names, Demon Chara, so I apologize if I have not matched your name to previous chats. But I'm glad to see you back. How are you doing? I don't know why I just have a random period here, but I do. Coffee Quills, hello, hello, hello. What did Santa bring you aside from travel misery, refunds, and disappointment? I may have ordered myself a Pusheen plushie. I'm just putting that out there. Not from Santa, from me. From me to me. A bookish obsession. Hello, hello. Sorry, it took me a moment to read your name properly. How are you? Welcome in. If your head feels explodey, you should definitely not stream. You should probably rest, hydrate, have a snack. You can call me Bookish or Cass. Sure. I always try to read everyone's full name the first time I see them, and I'm really bad at it. So my brain got halfway through and it was like a bookish, you don't know the rest. Doing okay but exhausted? Have you had a long, hard day, a bookish obsession? I hope you're able to get some rest. All right. Sorry, I know I went a little past the sprint there, but I was finishing a thought. Sorry, a bookish obsession. I was saying, did you have a long day? Was it a rough day? Is it, insomnia? What is it that's causing you to be so exhausted? I hope you're able to get some rest and relaxation. I was a bit focused on the sprint there at the end, so I apologize if I missed anything. I'm gonna be scrolling back up because I know I have what Hyperius has typed for us to read. And I missed a few other things. Tempest said it was my own fault for delaying coffee, food, and water too long. I've coffeeed and hydrated now. Food shortly. All very important things. I hope that once you get some food in you, that explodey feeling in your head feels better. I know I sometimes get, like, stomach aches or back aches that go away when I eat something, so I've kind of learned to pay attention to those kinds of sensations. Let's see, we got lots of scrolling to do here. Don't test me, I will cry at you. So we have some fantasy Warhammer lore that has been shared with us. Fantasy was less successful, but still popular. Alternative for 40k people who didn't enjoy the sci-fi elements. It was set on a single planet, quite lore dense, and had more fleshed out content because there was less history. I would assume being like in one place would work out well for that. The game Vermintide is set in Warhammer the Old World, aka Warhammer Fantasy. Vermintide takes place just before Canon Armageddon of Fantasy. Oh, interesting. Feeling a little off the last couple weeks, says Victoria, but I think it's getting better. Seasonal affective disorder. I'm glad to hear that it's getting better, Victoria. Please know that I'm always here if you need to talk or just need someone to listen. I'm sending you all the warm hugs and warm feelings, always. I know this time of year can get pretty heavy because it's just gray and dreary and miserable all the time, so I hope that you are feeling better. The rest you fight in that game work with the dark gods to destroy everything and succeed in turning everything that wasn't immortal into space dust. Oh, dang! So, like, they straight up failed to save the world. After Fantasy got killed off, it was rebooted into Age of Sigmar, which is why Sigmar's name is in both. Oh, interesting! With a background out of the way, gonna share a few things about my favorite setting. No worries. Warhammer the Old World starts the same as 40k. A race of very powerful frog-like mages called the Old Ones found a place that was untouched by the evils of chaos and was a sandbox for their power. The Old Ones first made the lizard men because I love the idea that instead of the elves, because it's usually like the elves come first. I love the idea that it's like the frogs and the lizards. The Old Ones made the lizard men first because at the time all life was about cavemen aged except for the giant reptiles, which got chosen to be remade into the first organized sentient race. The lizard men used the Old One magic to block the sight of the dark gods from finding them, but they failed. Chaos demons flood in from both of the poles and everything goes to hell. That doesn't sound fun. At this point, the humans, orcs, and elves had become sentient. There was also more races, but they didn't survive the invasion. The orcs thrived on the violence as they grow larger the more they fight. Oh, I didn't know that. Which, as far as I know, gave them enough power to manifest their gods, Gork and Mork. Which is one of the possible reasons for why they survived. You deserve all the pushines. I know I've had so many health issues lately that I finally was like, you know what? I just want a soft, comfortable thing. So I bought myself a Pusheen plushie of Pusheen eating a cookie. So that on days when I don't feel well, I have a Pusheen plush eating a cookie to have with me. It's silly, but it made me happy. It isn't here yet, so it'll make me happy when it's here. Make me happier when it's here. I normally get myself a Christmas present every year. You should get yourself one, Peter. You deserve a present. Bought yourself a sweater. What kind of sweater, Victoria? Was it a Christmas sweater? I read that as a criminal present. That would be something quite different, yes. Everyone deserves a crime boss. Every president is a criminal president if you believe in chaos. Absolutely. Humans survived from their centralized location, unknowingly using the elves, orcs, and dwarves as meat shields. That sounds very human, actually. Gonna go to sleep because it's 2 a.m. Gonna sleep till 5 and restart the day with some coffee. Neo, sleep well. Thank you so much for hanging out. I'm sorry about the delayed good night, but I hope you sleep well. Get some rest. Take care. We appreciate chaos in this house. I hope we do anyway. I appreciate chaos always. Chaos. The dwarven fortresses were extremely defensible, and the dwarves had an understanding of mathematics that they used to fire giant rocks at the chaos. You do. Everybody deserves a nap. Definitely. Go outside and touch some grass, have some snacks. Totally. Low energy day, and I had to watch the kiddo for a bit. Oh, kids plus low energy, as Tempest said, that can be a heck of a combo. I hope you're able to get some you time, Bookish. Get some you time, recharge those batteries. I always, if I have to interact with like high energy people, this is nothing against people who are high energy, but if I have to interact with high energy people, there's always a recovery period afterwards. Just one of those days where I feel like sleeping and maybe quietly existing, but not really talking. Typing is okay, but physically talking is tiring. I absolutely feel you. And it's one of the things I love about Twitch is that you can kind of have company without having to use the energy of being in physical company. So I find a lot of comfort on Twitch, just hanging out with people, just being able to know that other people are there, but not necessarily having to spend energy on them. And if we can do that for you today, happy to do so. The elves use their magic to silence chaos as encouraging by forcing the 8 winds of magic into a massive vortex at the center of their island home. They unknowingly got saved by the lizard men on many occasions. Oh no! I'm glad you're back, Bookish. Sorry that your Wi-Fi cut out. Once chaos had calmed, the modern factions emerged. The Empire, the High and Dark Elves, the Orc tribes, the Dwarven strongholds, to name a few. Then you reach the closest thing left to modern day in fantasy, because it died. Yeah, because the world ended. Oh no. That's super awesome, Hyperius. I probably only have time for one more sprint today, so we probably won't expand too much on it today. But I'd love to pick your brain in the future about more, because I don't know as much about the fantasy series. It sounds super fun. I agree that you're not clogging the chat, though. I'm perfectly happy to have it there. I'm perfectly happy to read through it. I just won't have as much time to discuss it as I would in an earlier portion of the stream. But that's super awesome. I actually learned a ton. I didn't know pretty much any of that. Yes, if it's 1 a.m., you definitely should get some rest. Thank you for giving me the basics of the Warhammer Fantasy. I appreciate that. In the future, I'll learn more. Save more of that lore for me in the future. Neo, I thought you went to sleep. Tisk tisk. Poo for food and then nonsense. Tempest, take care. Ooh, cord. Enjoy food. feel better. The sweater says, fuck the patriarchy with a skull and butterfly on it. That is amazing, Victoria. I love it. Sounds super cute. I'm going to take one more quick break because I hear the Ghost Pepper one is home. I have a little over 2 pages left in this edit. I'm very hopeful that we can get through it because if I check my notes, I basically just have one note for myself of a little bit of thoughts that I have to sprinkle in here at the very end to sort of bring this book together cohesively. So I'm confident that in a half an hour we can get through this. Imagine talking to your husband. I know, right? Just home from a long day at work and just want to say hey to him. So I'm going to go give my tea a quick refresh, say hey to Ghost Pepper, and then we're going to come back and do one more sprint, 30 minutes, and hopefully finish off this book. Hopefully be able to say it's done, yo. Goodbye, adios, I'm out. Slaps both thighs while standing up. Take care, Hyperius. Thank you so much for hanging out. I really appreciate you sharing your Warhammer knowledge with me. And I will BRB, my friend. Hello. I am back from the kitchen, back from saying hello to the ghost pepper one. Neo, good night once again. I'm hoping you've actually gone to sleep this time, but if you're still hanging around for a second, good night. I hope you sleep well. Alright. Alright. It has been interesting ride with this book, but I am looking forward to hitting that last page. Let's get the white noise working again. It is working, thank goodness. I've been lucky with the white noise today. OMG. Sorry, I gotta... I'm wiggling because I gotta get resituated with my lumbar support if I don't get it into the right spot, the back does not get happy. So it takes a moment. Got the tea nice and toasty hot again. Ah, yes, I think I've forgotten to mention a few times, as people have dropped by. But there are new emotes on the channel. For anyone who hasn't seen these already, they were made by the fabulous It's Mumbles. If you are a follower, you get the 2 rose emotes and also the witchy emote. I've moved that into the follow area. You can use those just for following here on my channel. And if you're a subscriber, you get to use all of the new emotes, because you can use follower emotes elsewhere in Twitch now, which is fantastic. And then that really cute sip emote is the tier 2 subscription reward emote for anyone who wants to spring for the extra. Hello, Ghost Pepper, welcome to the stream. I just asked how you were doing, but how are you doing? For the chat, how are you doing? So yeah, check out those new emotes. There's also, I'm going to be getting proper animated emotes. These are just the quick, oh, I've opened this and now I can't close it. Nope. Why can't I? There we go. These are just the quick animations, but there is a new quick animated emote as well, just to make use of the slot until I'm able to get, or hopefully going to get a clicky clacky emote here soon. But there you go. I am feeling RIP, oh, you know, but I'm going to hopefully make a nice... I've got a little bit of a spaghetti plan for tonight, and I know that's a nice comfort meal that we both enjoy. So hopefully that will rouse you back to strength a bit. It's a little bit of an assumption on my part, but I think Ghost had a bit of a rough day today. Dealing with these kids. So send him some love. But yeah, we're gonna have the special, we're gonna have the good sketty that I bought. I bought some fancy fettuccine noodles. And I think I'm gonna slather them with some butter, garlic, Italiano seasoning, and then just mix in the rest of the sauce that's in the fridge and see how that tastes. Limit XSS, hello! How are you? Welcome in. What is up? We're just about to start. This will be my final sprint for the evening because, one, hopefully we'll be done with this book at the end of this sprint. That's the goal. We have just a little over 2 pages here to do. Not quite 2.5, or maybe around 2.5-ish. So hopefully at the end of 30 minutes, we're done with this book. This book is edited. I can put it out of my mind and start thinking about book 2 in this series. Because we're never done with anything for very long, we writers. But also, too, I have to go make the aforementioned sketty for Ghost Pepper soonish. So this will be our last sprint. We're going to be doing another 30 minutes of me staring intently and intensely at the screen. But then, hopefully, we get to say it's finished, which is always the most exciting thing for a writer to get to say. Limit, I missed an L in your name. I think I said limit XSS, and it's limitless. It's limitless. I got there in the end. Clever name. I like it, even though my brain didn't read it right at first. How are you, my friend? I'm psyching myself out for getting this book done. All right. Why is it every time I go to turn on this timer, I lose it? There it is. I'm like, I always go looking for it and it's like gone. Comf, how's it going? How is your work going? I know you've been lurking for a bit. I started playing that Bear and Breakfast game that I saw you playing. I've only made like I've only done like my first 2 guests, but I'm very excited about it. It's almost over. Nice. Me too. This is my last sprint. I can already sense that in Bear and Breakfast, the game is trying to like slowly introduce me to everything, and I keep just going off and doing things before it tells me to do them. So hopefully that won't cause me problems, but I'm enjoying it so far. I just want to make a bed and breakfast, you know? I want to get to the buildy part. I thought I broke the game because I did something really fast, but you should be fine. It turns out a way there was to resolve the issue I created. Okay. Yeah, because I've already had a few times where I've done something and then it's like, go do this other thing, and I'm like, whoops. Did I leave myself enough money to do this other thing? Like, I may have already made a second room even though it didn't tell me to, because I just wanted to have more guests. Hey, Woof, I'm drinking your blueberry tea in case you didn't hear me say that earlier. Oops. we're on the last page. This is the very last page of this book. Heck yeah. Oh, the timer ran out, but I have like 2 paragraphs to do, so we're just gonna finish. We're finishing up. I have to check my notes because there was one specific thing I wanted to put at the end here. Okay, I think it's finished, but I just need to read over these last couple paragraphs and make sure that what I wrote actually makes sense. Okay, I'm happy with that. It feels like my main problem with the end of this book after the first draft was I felt like it didn't have a sort of cohesive ending that felt like it satisfied the events that had taken place in the book. But now I feel like the main character has taken her experiences, has begun to process. Obviously, she doesn't fully process these experiences. She's in the middle of experiencing these things, but she has taken these experiences in and sort of begun processing them and come to a conclusion about what she wants. I think our main character in this story sort of starts the book adrift, not really sure that she can get anything for herself out of sort of the journey that she's on. And by the end of the book, she's kind of like, no, this should at least be a little bit about me. And I should be able to take control of my destiny at some point instead of just sort of being a passenger of fate. So it feels a lot more. It feels a lot more like I also for our boy Jalen. I definitely was able to infuse some really good tension, a good setup for problems that he's going to face in the next book, some other shoes that are going to be dropping. So I'm much, much happier with this draft. Also, it just feels really good to be done with it. I'm probably going to go off camera here and just do one more quick read over of these last two scenes here to make sure that I didn't miss anything, because every now and then I miss a couple of mistakes when I'm doing the initial read through, but I'm really happy with that. It's such a relief to be at the end of it. We're gonna check out who's online. We're gonna do a raid so that I can go do this last bit of reading and make Ghost Pepper some spaghetti. Let's see who is about today. Oh my goodness, it always getting to the end of an edit always feels like such a huge relief. My Twitch is being ultra slow. Ooh, we could raid Coffee Quills. We don't get to do that very often. Ooh, Haley Creates is also on. Another awesome streamer that we do not get to raid very often. I see Joe is online as well, but he is not raiding today. Let's see how long, let's see what is up and who is doing what. I'm currently waiting for ads to pass. You know, I think I raid Coffee Quills quite often, so we might hop over to Haley just because I think I've raided her like maybe twice since I found her. But let's do a shout out for Coffee Quills, the always amazing Coffee Quills. If you're not following them, please pop over and give them a follow. They're so awesome to hang out with. Another person who does showcases from time to time on their stream. I believe it's a redeem that you can pick up from the channel points. They've got some stream raiders going on in the background. Super, super chill, super fun. One of the first people I ever hung out with on Twitch, made me feel super welcome. But we're gonna go drop in on Haley, I think. Another super fun, super chill streamer. And a huge theater nerd for my theater nerd friends who I know are hanging out. Some of you in the chat, please check her out. Here are some of the sub emotes that you can use for this raid if and you like. Or feel free to use any emotes that make you happy. I feel like most of you guys have gone into lurk mode or gone to bed, but that is totally fine. Thanks to everyone who hung out today. I know they've gone to bed, but thank you, Neo, and thank you, Hyperius, for sharing some of that lore, that 40k lore, or I guess it wasn't 40k, it was Warhammer Fantasy lore with us today. Thank you to everyone who stopped by. Hey, the Rotting Bard literally just joined. Well, hello to you. Thank you so much. Oh my god, the used tea. I can't say the name. Thank you for the follow. The used tea. If I'm saying your name wrong, please let me know. Hello, welcome in. I'm sorry that we're wrapping up. I do have to go feed my husband. He had a rough day. But please stop by again in the future. I'll be back tomorrow morning with a writing prompt. And Haley is super awesome, so we're going to have tons of fun over on her channel. You guys are amazing. Take care of yourselves. I will see you soon.
At the end of Fix in AO3.